In this episode of ClaireTrips, dive into America's history with me, my mom, and dad as we explore Washington, D.C.
We are headed to the old post office.
We started off our time in Washington by going up the clock tower of the old post office to get a comprehensive view of the city.
Coming to the top of the bell tower is completely free and has incredible 360-degree view of the city. So if you're looking for something free and really unique to do in Washington, D.C., I definitely recommend it. It's a bit tricky to find, but if you make your way around to the back of the International Hotel, there is a Starbucks. And if you enter the building next to the Starbucks and kind of sneak your way through the strangely empty back hallways, you will eventually see enough security guards to help you find your way up here. The domed building over here is the Smithsonian. Then you have Verizon Center, FBI headquarters, U.S. Navy Memorial, the Capitol, National Archives building, National Gallery of Art, Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, all here in this view. Do you want to tell us about the clock? Since that's your real
It used
interest.
to have an actual weight-driven mechanism inside of it with a pendulum and all that stuff. He said that one of the weights broke loose one day and fell through several floors and narrowly missed a Postal Service employee. And they decided to change it to electric.
For the next couple of hours, we wandered the gardens around the Smithsonian Castle and proceeded to the Holocaust Museum. Learning the victims' stories from this horrible period in history was profoundly moving and powerful. I hope anyone visiting Washington can spend some time here and connect in their own way. The next morning, my mom and I had a meeting at the Portuguese embassy, and afterwards we strolled down Embassy Row for a while.
I'm kind of dying to know what an embassy-style mansion costs. Okay, we're gonna take the train to go meet up with Dad now. This is called the Newseum. It's a museum about news.
The Newseum deep dives into the history of journalism's role in society and the importance of a free press. My dad and I spent almost an entire day there and still felt like we needed more time.
If you're looking for an amazing view of the Capitol, you can find that at the Newseum. This is the 6th floor. They have a terrace that gives you a nice view.
I'm heartbroken that the museum has to close its doors at the end of 2019, but I'm glad they will carry on their mission by sending out pieces of their exhibitions to educational programs and public events. While we were at the Newseum, my mom walked over to Madame Tussauds, where they have wax figurines of all 45 presidents of the United States, as well as a wide array of celebrities.
We are at the Lincoln Memorial because you can't come to Washington, D.C. without seeing the big monument things. So there's a monument thing. It's right there. What are we looking at, Dad?
Looking to see if these are straight.
Are they straight?
They should not be.
They should not be.
They should bulge out just a little bit.
Why?
Because it looks better. Although it's pretty straight.
Huh. That one sure looks like it bulges out. Look, if you look at this one from the side, it looks like it bulges out a little bit.
It looks like it bulges a little bit.
We decided to rent bikes so that we could move around a bit more quickly. The rental company only lets you use the bikes for 30 minutes at a time, so they work perfectly for fast transport over short distances.
I don't know if this is exactly the right story, but the American GIs left this little graffiti all over Europe wherever they were. And I found it very interesting and amusing that it's here in the memorial in a hidden little nook for people to discover.
Being here is kind of an interesting reminder of both how far we've come as people, as Americans, but also a reminder of how far we still have yet to go before we can have a peaceful world. Maybe that's a pipe dream, but I like that, at least in words, that's what we believe in, what we strive for.
We happened to be in Washington the day of the Lights of Hope ceremony, which honors those whose lives have been affected by cancer. More than 30,000 lights circled the reflecting pool in front of Lincoln Memorial, and we stayed to watch them come to life as the sun went down.
Look how absolutely gorgeous! I'm kind of loving that the word hope is glowing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial right now. Wow.
Mom is making a delicious salad. I'm in the process of making cheese bread.
First of all, wash your hands. Você lavou a mão?
I washed my hands about 3 times so far.
Meia xícara de chá de água fria.
Keep reading.
Xícara.
Oh, place the content in a package or medium. Oops. I just saw the Portuguese and my eyes glazed over. Half a cup of cold water.
Do they have a measuring cup here? Measuring cup? Hello?
Oh, não, tá little more. Tá bom, chega.
This is cheese bread with extra cheese. We got nothing?
400 degrees. Tá bastante. Vocês botaram o ovo?
No.
Cadê o ovo?
Stop.
Stop it, because we still have
There's
to
no
have eggs.
We're brilliant at cooking.
Ficou muito mais.
Do we have any like flour here that we can put in it?
No, God, this is not right. Cornstarch. Yeah, because that's what it's made of.
April of 2019.
April, no, thank you so much. Just leave it there, okay? James, where is the salad dressing?
Boom.
How long will this take?
40 minutes.
Do 40 minutes?
Last one. It is 8 a.m. and we are already setting off to go see the Capitol. My mom would like to wave.
Good morning.
We have basically an hour and a half to 2 hours to go see the Capitol, and then we have to come get the bags, and I have to go. I'm going to New York City today, so this is going to be a packed morning. The Library of Congress early. It only opens at 8:30, and we got here before that somehow. So we're gonna be able to enter the Library of Congress right when it opens, and then after we see the Library of Congress things, there's a tunnel that will take us underground to the Capitol so that we can go there as well without having to enter security more than once and stay out of the heat. So it'll be a nice cool morning. It is kind of cool right now. If you want the most typical expression of what my parents are like, my mother is at the door waving at us to come right now, and my dad is watching construction workers do their thing because curiosity. Come on, Dad. You excited, Mom?
Just seeing these most beautiful buildings I've ever seen.
If you would like to go visit the Capitol, the line just to go through security can be hours long. And so if you go in through the Library of Congress and do security in Library of Congress, you can take the tunnel underneath and skip the security line. You need to have a reservation if you want to skip the line to get tickets here, but you can get a ticket and then you do a tour, but the tours are long. You can't just like pop into the Capitol and just look at the dome and leave, unless the visitor operations manager happens to take pity on you and gives you a private mini tour spontaneously right there. No ticket, no wait, just like, all right, well, I'll take you in. He was so nice and so funny, so knowledgeable. I cannot believe what just happened. But Mom apparently put on the perfect, like, but I want to see the dome face. And he took us through and suggested that we come back with a couple hours. So that could not have gone any better. We would not have seen the Capitol today if it hadn't have been for Josiah, the visitor operations manager, who just totally made our morning.
Wow, he made it possible for us to know so much. I did not know that there was an empty tomb inside of the...
An empty tomb for George Washington that has no George Washington in it. So now we're gonna go back and grab the bags, go drop off the bags at a luggage storage place, and then I'm gonna go to New York City.
While I was on my way to New York City, my parents had time to visit the Postal Museum, the Botanic Garden, and the Air and Space Museum before their flight home. We didn't end up getting to see the White House because construction was blocking the best views, so we'll have to wait until next time. Thanks so much for traveling to Washington with us, and I will see you in New York City for the next episode.